Back again. I didn't go nowhere yet. I was trying to prop the phone up and I hit the wrong button. I could tell when it goes off. It makes it funny, like a jingly sound, like a jingle. I mean, the cam is off. Yeah, I'm on. Actually, I'm on the other side from where I usually go. This is called Gilbert. You know, I always go to Tempe and Mesa. See, these are the main Phoenix cities. I live in Chandler. Then you got Tempe. Then you got Mesa. And like right now, we're in Gilbert. Gilbert's a nice place. These places are all nice. It's like when I looked inside of this park, I didn't see no signs of like bums and all that kind of stuff. And in those other parks in Mesa and Tempe, you see signs of them. You see them in the street. You may see greedy looking, grimy looking people walking around. You can see some grimy looking chicks here and there. You see grimy dudes, looking like they need a shower and a change of clothes. But they be trying to be normal, but you always could tell, that they're living foul. Seen a couple of those. Those people don't scare me. They don't bother me. People look at them as dangerous. The average person look at them as weak. Come on, I was born and raised, and I lived in New York City. First place to live was Harlem, New York. I was born in New York Medical Center, Cornell Medical Center. That's right down in Manhattan where the rich white folks are at. My mother worked for the health and hospitals. That's how I got that into that hospital, I guess. Plus, she worked there. Then we moved to Queens, New York, after we lived 136th Street and Lenox Avenue. Then we moved to Queens, New York. We had a house out there the whole time, before I was born. Like 10 years before I was born. My grandmother, grandfather ran into some French people. They own the dry cleaners in the neighborhood there. And our family got bigger. My aunts and uncles had kids. No, my uncle and my two uncles didn't have any kids. Or my two aunts and my mom had kids. And it was too big. Apartment was too small. So we went and got them people out of the house. And we moved in. That's an upper middle class black neighborhood. I grew up with Willie Mae's son. Then there was a basketball player living next door. His name was Ray Felix. He was a rookie of the year for the LA Lakers back in like 1959, like when I was born. And he hooked up with Lenny Wilkens' sister. And I grew up with Lenny Wilkens' sister's children. Yeah, grew up with his nieces and nephews, Lenny Wilkens' nieces and nephews. They still live in the Bronx. They moved back to the Bronx. Yeah, I grew up with Margarita Mays, is Willie Mays' wife. She's a crazy out of her mind lady. She was in the news for stealing something out of a pawn shop when I was little. They was called a lady in the black sedan. She went to the pawn shop to get some jewelry out or something, and they trusted her, and they put it up on the thing, and she took it and didn't pay them. She got in trouble for that. She was a wicked woman growing up. I'll never forget her. She's a beautiful woman, too. She had a thing up there on Astoria Boulevard. It was called Margarita Mays Dugout. It was a little nightclub. And even Tommy Agee played for the 69 Mets. Remember 69 Mets? Tommy Agee, Cleon Jones, Ron Swoboda, Ed Charles, Tom Seaver, Tug McGraw. and those dudes. Yeah, they won the World Series. Ed Charles lived in the neighborhood too, up the block from me. Tommy Eddy lived up the block from me. He had a club. It's called the Outfielders Club. I don't know if he still has it. It's on Astoria Boulevard, out in East Elmhurst, Queens. Look up East Elmhurst, Queens. That's all you got to do. Look it up on Wikipedia or wherever. And look up the history of it. Look it up on Wikipedia. You'll see what I'm talking about. Nothing out there but doctors, dentists, lawyers, and whatever. All black people. At one point, it was the richest black neighborhood in America. In the USA. It wasn't middle class, it was upper middle class. We went to school with white people. They didn't want us going to school in with the people that was on the other side of the town. The other side of town is called Corona. Louis Armstrong had a house in Corona. Yeah, Satchmo. Had a house in Corona. Over there. And he's telling me Eric B. was Eric B. and Rakim. They're from East Elmhurst. And Kid and Play is from East Elmhurst. And those girls, Salt and Pepper's from Queens, but they one's from East Elmhurst. Kid and Play was from East Elmhurst. And what's that guy's name? I think he's in the Eric Holder. He's a politician. He's Attorney General, I think. Eric Holder. Grew up with all that. There was a guy that played for the New York Giants. His name was Bobby Hammond. Robin Hammond. He went to Morgan State University. And he played for the Jets. Excuse me. He played for the Giants. He was a kickoff return guy, and he was a running halfback. He was a small dude. Not small. He was like 5'10", like 180. Small to those guys. Yeah, he went to Bayside High School. Then he went to Morgan State University. And then he got drafted by the Giants. And then he started working with the Arizona Cardinals. And then as a running back coach. And then he was a running back coach for the Jets. And that's where the last thing I heard of him. He lived across the street from me. He was 1 block away, but behind the house across the street from me. Their backyards met. The people lived directly across the street from me. His backyard met their backyard. I lived on Ditmars Boulevard. It's the last block. It's nothing but big mini mansions up and down that block. Now they got like a Marriott's and a Holiday Inn Plaza, whatever they call those big Holiday Inn things now. Yeah. They hooked up those vacant lots that was there. We used to go hunting and rafting in there in these big old mud holes and these big mud like muddy swamps. And then we used to go hunting in there with slingshots and trapping and all this other stuff. I always was a wildlife guy, man. Look at me now. I'm fishing in the city, in Phoenix, in the desert. Yeah, I always was into that kind of stuff. Trapping and hunting, fishing, BB guns, real guns too. Still into the same stuff, the fishing. I ain't trying to keep no fish. And I really ain't trying to kill nothing either, man. I don't. You know, I could go hunting and stuff if I wanted. I'd rather go target shooting than to go hunting. I'm into all that. PCP air rifles. I gotta get concealed carry out here. You can get a gun out here as long as you don't have a felony. You can just buy a gun out of any gun store, just like that. You're better off just having a gun for protection in the house, and you're not supposed to be bringing those guns near schools or anything. Even if you're driving by and a cop will just stop you, and you don't have a concealed carry, you got trouble. You're in trouble. So with that kind of situation, you're better off just having a gun for home protection. And don't carry it around unless you got a permit. If you don't have a permit, don't do it. They're not so hard on guns out here like they are in New York City. You ain't getting no pistol running around, no pistol in New York City. You better be a movie star, and you better be making thousands and thousands of dollars a week. You better be making, I don't know how much money. I think it's like $10,000 a week or something. I'm not sure what it is. You know, you got to be into some kind of check cashing business or something like that, whatever. You're dealing with a lot of money and valuables. You got a jewelry store. You're dealing with cash. Those kind of people who get carry permits. Or you're a movie star or something like that. Celebrity. They give you that break in New York. Out here, any old person can get a damn gun. This is the West, man. Southwest, man. This is that cowboy shit, man. Cowboys and farmers and shit out this motherfucker. People out here are nice. It's a lot of Mexicans and Chicanos in Arizona. Especially right here in southern Arizona, right along the border, like the south. It's a lot of Chicanos, which is nothing but Mexican Americans. Like they got African Americans, Mexican Americans, Chinese Americans, whatever. You know, they're Americans. They speak English like me and you. Anybody else that's speaking English that hear me. And from somewhere else. And was born here. I'm gonna get on this Google map and find this Spectrum Lake. They don't call it Lake Spectrum. They call it Spectrum Lake. The same way like the Kiwanis Lake. They don't call it Lake Kiwanis. Depends on what part of the country you come from. There's a Lake Powell up here. It's supposed to be the biggest lake here. They got Firebird Lake. Lake Powell, they call it. They don't call it Powell Lake. They call it Lake Powell. This is Discovery Lake Upper and Discovery Lake Lower. Not Lake Discovery. They go by the park, like Kiwanis Park. Kiwanis Lake. I call it Kiwanis Lake Park. Or Veterans Memorial Lake. You don't call it Lake Veterans Memorial. They call it Veterans Memorial Lake. Yo, fishing out here so far, thumbs fucking down. I caught like 2 bass. I got it on my channel, so you guys look for it. And I'm always coming up with these empty-handed stories, like I'm telling you now. You guys bless me and pray for me to catch some fish out here, man, so I can show y'all. Because I'm trying. You'll see that. I'm sweating out shirts. I'm dehydrating, all kind of stuff, man. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace and love.